It left St. Petersburg, Florida at 7:30 a.m., traveling due east in the direction of the city of Lakeland. As it passed, witnesses along the track began to notice that something was wrong. A local man driving his van to work had to pass the railroad to reach a nearby garage.
I come up to the intersection at the railroad crossing and the lights were blinking. I was the first one at the gate, so I decided to go ahead and shut my van off that I was in and noticed the circus train. As it went by the van, the noise dissipated and went past me. The next thing I heard was a very loud squealing. Sounded like one of the wheels on the track. There was something wrong with it. I could tell definitely there was something wrong with the bottom of the train.
10 minutes later, an ambulance driver taking a patient to the hospital in New Haven radioed his dispatch with an unusual message.
ALS 11, the comm scene. The train tracks run parallel to the road, and coming towards me was a train. As I looked towards the end of the train, I could see what appeared to be smoke coming from one of the wheels. And I didn't think much of it at first, but as it got closer, the smoke seemed to get worse and worse and worse. But when it got close enough to where I could see what it really was, when I noticed the wheel had come off the track next to the car, it was digging up the gravel on the side of the railroad tracks.
A car mechanic was working at his garage near the railroad track on the outskirts of town.
We heard a loud commotion, and it took us a few seconds to realize that it was coming from the train track. So we walked out in the middle of the parking lot and we saw a train come by with a center train car sticking halfway off the track, and it was throwing rocks and debris all over the place up here on customers' cars. We could tell immediately there was a problem with the train and it probably was going to derail, and we hoped it wouldn't be right here.
Lakeland Police Department, 911 emergency.
911 emergency.
You need police, fire, ambulance.
Get a hold of somebody to stop that train.
Police, fire, ambulance.
Like to report a train has come off the track.
Frantic calls jammed the switchboard of the local police station, but no one could stop the circus train.
Well, on the morning of the derailment, I was approximately 30 cars back from the locomotive. I was awake, lying in bed. I just received a wake-up call from the conductor that we were approximately an hour outside of Orlando. I was basically just mulling over how I was going to park the train when we arrived and what my normal duties would be as far as unloading the train. The railroad car initially was shaking violently, and the dishes were clattering, my pictures on the wall were clattering, and then there was a sudden impact. It was a nightmare. When I got out of the car, you could see railroad coaches spread out everywhere. They were on their sides. They were torn open, like the sheet metal was removed from the sides of the railroad cars in certain cases. Cars on top of each other. It was horrible.
When I got to the wreckage, everything was quiet, and these two little kids came out the window, and so I decided to go in there because they said that my dad's in there.
And there were people trying to comfort the boys, but they just ran from person to person, you know, begging for their father.
The boy's father, who was an elephant trainer, had been killed, as well as a clown. The circus was in ruins. In addition to the 2 fatalities, 15 people were badly injured. The train was almost completely destroyed. Only the animal cars remained unharmed.
The sad truth of the whole thing was, and we knew it right then and there, was that we could replace the train. We could replace the furniture and all the things we'd lost. We couldn't replace the 2 people.